Hello everyone, so today we will be starting with our second chapter, that is strings. So let's see how do we make a string in Python. So you can either use a single quote to make a string, or you can use a double quote to make a string. Now strings are sequence of character that can store letter, numbers, or combination anything. So this is a speciality of a string, that whatever things you have on your keyboard, you can write everything in a string. You just have to make sure that you either use a single quote or a double quote which represents that it's a string. String concatenation. Now when you add two numbers in maths, so we say it's an addition. When you add two strings in Python, we say it's string concatenation. So here I have two variable. One is first name, which is Marsh. Then I have second variable, that is last name, which is McLennan. If I wish to add both the strings, I have to use the plus operator, and it is going to give me this output, that is Marsh McLennan. If you wish to have a space between Marsh and Macmillan, you can just add an empty string with a space in it. So you will get this output. Moving our code to a script file. Now if you want to run this file, you have to write this entire code in a script.py file. Now the script name can be anything, but the extension should be same. Just like we have PDF file, we have text file. PDF file have an extension of .pdf. Similarly, the Python file needs to have an extension of .py. This is mandatory. Now if I run this code, you'll see that there won't be any output in the output screen because I'm not printing anything. So we will be using a new function called as print. Now this print function, whatever you write within the print function, it will be showed in the output screen. So this is what I will see if I run this code. Now if I write first name comma last name, then also I'll see the same output. Why? Because whenever you write a comma in the print, it automatically adds a space for us. This is one thing that you should remember. Running a Python script. So if you wish to run the Python script, you just have to write Python space file name. In this case, the file name is script.py. So if I run this code, I'll see this output. This is how it will look like. I just have to write the code and it will run. Comments. Now in Python, we have a special type of code which is ignored by the interpreter, that is called as comment. Usually comments are not for the computer, it is usually for the other developer or for yourself to understand what you have done. So in this case, I have made a comment. So how do you make a comment? You just start your comment with a hash symbol. So after hash, whatever you will write, everything will be ignored. And usually the color of this hash line is different. So here I'm just written some comment like describe the sketch comedy, and I have made few variable like name, description, and value. And I'm trying to add everything. Now if you see here, I have made a variable called as value, which is an integer. And here I'm trying to add an integer with a string. In Python, it is not allowed. You're trying to add two different types of value. So if you want to solve this problem, what you can do, you can use a function called as str. So here, instead of writing only value, I've written str, and in round brackets, I've written value. So what this str function will do, this str function will convert my integer into a string. So now I won't be seeing any error and I can see the output clearly. Now one more thing I could have done, instead of concatenating everything, I could have used the print function speciality. That is, I can write everything by separating them by a comma. What this will do, this will automatically add a space for us. So I will see the same output without converting any integer into a string. Dealing with quotes in string. Let's say that you want to print something like this. If you write this code and if you run the code, you're going to see an error, that is invalid syntax, because Python is thinking that you have written 3 quotes in your string, which is not allowed. So one way you can solve this problem is by adding different quotes. In the start and the end, you'll add double quote, and in the middle, you'll add a single quote. So this will differentiate between both the quote and you will be able to see the desired output. Special character. Now in all the programming language, we have this concept of special character. Now let's say that we have two variable, one is famous sketch1 and famous sketch2, and I'm just printing it. So this is how the output will look like. Now let's say that I want to print this Hell's Granny in the next line and this Death Parrot also in the next line. So this is where we can use a special character called as /n. So it's actually a string only. In the string you write /n. What this /n will do, this /n will move the entire string that you have after /n to the next line. So in this case, first famous work is printed, then famous sketch should be printed here, but due to /n, the entire Hell's Granny is printed in the next line. And then finally again famous sketch2 is printed in the next line. Now this next line is happening because of /n. Slash and special character, they are also called as escape sequence. Now the next escape sequence that we have is slash t. The slash t will automatically add a tabs for us. So here you can see in the beginning I have one tab and here also I have one tab. That is because of this slash t. String behind the scene. Let's say that we have a string that is greeting. Now in this string I have 12 characters starting from h to this exclamation. The starting index is 0 and the ending index is 11. Now one point to remember is in programming or in computer itself, always the counting starts from 0. So here we have first index that is 0. So these are all indexes and these are all the characters. Note here that even a space has an index that is 5. Now if you want to access any particular character, let's say that you want to access this h. So you will write variable name square bracket 0. That is the index of this h variable. So you will get h as an output. If you want this exclamation, you have to write greeting square bracket 11, which is index of this exclamation. You will get this exclamation. Now if you write a index which don't exist, in this case I have written 12 which don't exist. So it is throwing an error that is index error. Now there is another function called as length, len. This function tells us how many characters are there in the string. Now in this string there are total 12 characters. So if I write length round bracket greeting, it will give me 12. Now let's try to make one small project. Let's say that we want to write a code which will print only half of the word. Like if it want to say good evening, it will only print od-ning, that is half of the word. So word 1 will be good. Now whatever we have learned till now, this is what will come to our mind. We will write word 1 square bracket 2 plus word 1 square bracket 3. Now this is right, but think about it this way. If the string was very long, like 50-60 character, then you have to write this multiple times, and that is not the best way. Now to solve this problem, we have another concept, that is slicing. Let's say you have a string called as Python. The starting index will be 0 and the ending index will be 5. What we want this much section of the string, that is THO. The starting index of this T will be 2, ending index will be O will be 4. Now if you wish to get this section of the string, you have to write the variable name, that is word, square bracket, starting index, colon, ending index plus 1. So in this case, instead of writing 4, I have to write 5. So this is how it will look like. If I run this code, I'm going to get THO. So the final formula will look something like this. Slice formula will be variable start colon end plus 1. Now let's say you want to get GO. So I will write variable name, that is word 1 square bracket 0 colon 2, it will give me GO. If I want OD, I will write variable name, that is word 1 square bracket 2 colon 4, it will give me OD. Now you can do one more thing. Instead of writing 0, you can ignore it. That will also work. Instead of writing the ending index, that is 4, you can ignore it. This is also going to give you the same output. Now similar to positive index, we have this concept of negative index also. Now in negative index, we have the number starting from -1 and it starts from the last character. So this character n will be having -1, this will be -2 and this first will be having -6. If we want this THO, again we have to use the same formula. Formula will be starting index, that is -4 colon the ending index plus 1, that is -2 plus 1 will be -1. So if I run this code, it is going to give me the same output, that is THO. So this is the concept of negative indexing. Incorporating string slices into our solution. Now if I try to write the same code by using the string slicing, this is how my code is going to look like. But we still have some problem. The problem is I have to manually figure out where the center of my string is, that is the center number, center index of my string. So is there a way I can solve this problem? Yes, I can use the length function. So what I'll do, I'll use the length function and I'll figure out the center point. That is, I'll do length of word 1 divide by 2. But if I do this, I'm going to get a value that is 2.0, which is not a integer, but it's a float value. So if I want a integer value, instead of writing single slash, I'll use double slash. This double slash will give me an integer value. So here I'm going to get 4 double slash 2 will be equal to 2 and 7 double slash 2 will be equal to 3. So I've got the center point of both the word 1 and word 2. Now if I put everything together, this is how my code will look like. First I have a word 1, I'm calculating the half 1, and I'm just slicing it out, and then at the end I'm just printing end 1 and end 2. Now let's do some practical for strings. So first thing is comments. So whenever you're writing a comment, you have to start your comment with a hash. So after that, you can write this is Python course. Now this is called single line comment. What if you want to make a multi-line comment? You have to write it within triple quotes like this. So this is the starting part and this is the ending part. Now whatever you will write in this will be considered as a comment. Like this is comment in my file. So this is how you write multi-line comment. Now whether it be single line comment or multi-line comment, everything will be ignored by the Python interpreter. Now let's make some strings. So I'll write str1 is equal to string AAPL. Now you can make a string by using a single quote, or you can make a string by using double quote too. You'll write str2 is equal to double quotes Amazon. Now you cannot have different types of quotes in the start and the end like this. This is not allowed. You need to have the same type of quotes, either single quotes or double quotes. Now whenever you're adding two strings in Python, we say it's string concatenation. Like if I write print, I'll write str1 plus str2. Now if I run the code, you'll see both the string will be concatenated and I'm going to get Apple Amazon. If I want to add a space between them, I'll just have to write plus, and here I'll write a quote again, space, and if I run the code, you'll see Apple space Amazon. So this is how you concat two string. Now let's see something else. Let's say that I have another variable that is price1, which is equal to 500. Now I want to print that Apple stock price is 500. Okay, so I'll make a variable called as statement equal to, first I'll write str1, this is the name of the stock, then I'll write plus because I'm concatenating another string. So I have to write Apple stock price is, and at the end I want to add the price, that is price 1. So what is price 1? Price 1 is this line 12. It's 500 right now. So I'll just print this statement. I'll write print, I'll write statement. Now if I run the code, you'll see that I'll see an error. So you see I'm seeing an error. It is saying can only concat string, not int. Why this is showing? Because we are trying to add 500, which is an integer, with a string, because remaining thing is a string. Right? So that is why I'm getting this output. Now how do I solve this problem? It's simple. I just need to convert this integer into string. How I will do this? I can use type conversion. If I write str at the beginning, this entire string, this entire int will be converted into a string. So if I run the code again, you'll see the output that we were expecting, that is Apple stock price is 500. I just need to add another space here, and now the output will be better. So these are all the few things that you have to remember. Now let's make a project. Our project was we wanted to print half of the entire word, right? So let's say we have word 1, which is Dow Jones United States, and I have another word, that is word 2. This is Nifty 50 India Index. Okay, I have two strings here. All right, I want to print half of the string. So I'll make half 1. What will be half 1? It will be the center character, right? So first I need to write the variable name, that is word 1, and in square bracket. Now here I have to write the index. Okay, so let's say that I want the first index, that is D. So what I'll write? I'll just write here 0. And let me show you. If I write half 1 and if I run the code, you'll see I'm going to get D. If I want the last character, I have to write what? I have to write the last, I have to write -1. So if I run the code, it's going to give me S. See, I'm getting S as the output. Now if I want the half, the center index, so what I have to do? I have to take length of the entire word like this, length of word 1, and I have to divide it by 2. Okay, so what is this half 1? Half 1 will be index. So I'll just write half 1 underscore index. Okay. So this will give me something. So let's see what it is giving me. I'll just write underscore index and just run the code. If I run the code, it is going to give me the center part, that is 11. So there are total 22 characters and it is giving me 11, that is 22 divided by 2. So I need the second half too. Okay, so I'll write half 2 underscore index is equal to length of word 2, and this will be divided by 2. So this is what, this is the second, this is index of word 2. This is what I'm getting, right? So finally I'll just write print, I'll write word 1, and then I'll write slash n. What the slash n will do, it will take the entire output after slash n and put it in the next line. All right, so I'll write word 1 half part is, and here I have to write the half part. So I'll write word 1. Okay, in square bracket I have to write the starting index, that is this. So let me just copy this and I'll paste it here, and I'll write a colon and I'll leave it blank. So if I run the code now, you'll see the half word of word 1. So this is the half word. Okay, 98 states. Now let's do the same thing for the second word. So I'll just copy this entire thing. So there are only few things I have to change. I'll paste it here. Here I'll change word 2, and here I'll change word 2. Here also I have to change half 2. Now if I run the code, I can see the half of the second word 2 also. This is the second word and this is the half of the first word. All right, no, this is the half of the first word and this is the half of the second word. All right, so this is how you can make your own project. So there are a few things we have discussed now. So this is what do we call slash n? Slash n is called escape sequence. There is another escape sequence called as slash t. So let's add that also. So here I'll write slash t. So the moment I'll add slash t, so here you will be able to see few more spaces. That is one tab you will be able to see. So I'll write slash t. If I run the code again, you can see the output.